on pretty low here. So this is another attempt for me staying Spanner, because you can see here Farseer spec with sledgehammers. Sounds good. And my opponent is also having a very strong pack. But his pack has 5k HP. Mine has way, way fewer because the crawlers are very highly rated. And the amplifying spec is one of the worst specs in the game, probably. And mine is Farseer spec, which is probably one of the best in the game. So we have a pretty even mirror, but a mismatch on our strategy. And as you can see right away, he has a big advantage in the sledgehammer mirror because he just has better stats all around. And he goes half aggro. That happens very often when people don't quite want to go aggressive, but they also don't want to quite lose. And as you can see here, I put my crawlers way in the back because I wanted my sledges to tank. Now what I did not expect was him taking marksman, because that's a bad play generally speaking on this turn. And since it's a bad play, we don't play around it. But I don't have that much HP, so we can't do that as often. Yeah, this is gonna be very dangerous for us coming forward here. Notice bar. Range, elite marksman, assault mode, and area spec. One of them does not fit into this marksman profile. Which one is it?
The third one, the assault.
The assault mode looks weird, right? If I see this on the bar, I expect a pretty aggressive player. A tempo player. He's not gonna go for that big board that we just saw. He's gonna go in my face. That's why he's sitting here and not here. He's not respecting the flanks at all, for example. He also has the amplifying core spec and the sledges. This is all crying tempo to me. Tempo, tempo, tempo. We want to win early, and if we don't win early, we lose.
You mean him, right?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'm sitting here. I'm not winning anytime soon. Not like this. So here we have a very easy decision. Either if he goes aggressive, he will go quick teleport. These two are just for late game. This you could pick if you want to go greedy. But Missile Strike is by far the best pick, right? It's free, 3k damage, very good against Phoenix. Very powerful if you want to play for tempo. It's not gonna one-shot a sledgehammer, but it might as well. It kills Chaff all the game. Very powerful spell. So if you can take that one, I would always pick it. As you can see, he nukes my crawler, and I nuke his marksman and the fang. Now I put some more crawlers down, because I really would like some crawlers. And this is exactly what I mean, right? This is what we expect. Waste 100 on round 2, just to deny me some missile value. But he thinks he can keep this shield up for the game. And if he can, that's a big, big upside. If you are doing that, please don't do that. That is very, very hard to play. That's the only thing this guy is winning anything. Okay, he put some cross on the flank, by the way, so if I flanked here, I would have been punished. As you can see here, our Chaff is doing actually quite fine. They're coming in at the right time. But this one does not do as fine because he has Chaff on the side that he's winning with. Now the big downside for this shield is he didn't actually profit from the shield that much, right? I still got half of his fangs and whatnot. He saved a marksman and he took a little bit of damage. The best case scenario is that he uses like almost all of the HP and then wins the round. Alright. So round 3 also goes to him. I'm dropping below 3k here. So far the plan with tempo is working out, right? He has triple sledges, all with an item that makes them better than mine. level on the marksman, level on the crawler if you like. No pressure in his back. And I have some exposed ledges and a lot of crawlers everywhere. Now this crawler here is not something I showed you. This happens when I don't want a crawler here or here, but I still want one to arrive in the middle.
Okay.
This is specific to this case scenario where he has all his stuff in the middle. It seems still very similar to these here, right? The ones here.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Oh, look at that. Flying Stormcrawlers. I take the EMP because I already told you it's very good against the shield, right? That would delay those sledges from getting to the fight because they're too slow. And that would also shut down this shield on the side. And this is a very inexpensive spell with 2-round cooldown. So I thought I could afford that. He did not. And he's just going to skip. And here we go. Stormcrawlers. What do Stormcrawlers do? They break the shield, right? In the first volley.
Okay.
That's the idea here. His comp is moving very slowly. Am I clearing the fangs fast enough? No. The fangs will get value by tanking the sledgehammers. Stormcrawlers clear those fangs very, very easily. Now, if you are the opponent, what would you do against this? What would you do when the Stormcaller shows up here on the board where there was no reason to really buy it other than clearing fangs and marksman?
Probably it depends. Like if I'm sure that if I drop the missile interceptor, I won't get punished, meaning that they won't get destroyed, I would probably go for that. But I have to see this round to really understand if I can afford that.
I mean, he doesn't know I have the Stormcrawlers yet. No, I'm just assuming next turn, right? The next turn, we're going to look at him. And I agree. I think if you are forward like this, you can put a missile interceptor behind. And even if you lose the round, probably you're going to lose everything in the middle, right? There's not going to be anything fighting here on the flanks, getting delayed, and then not making anything. True. What else could you do?
Also the crawlers with the beacon, but the beacon doesn't go back forward.
Yeah, you could do the beacon for sure. Although that's not a very tempo-heavy play, right? That's a unit deploy and a 100 on that one. So probably not his game plan. What else? There's more. Because this is really important and why we are winning here. Rhino could work because I don't have the DPS to kill Rhino, but the Rhino would also get stuck on those crawlers pretty hard because his chaff clear is not really the best, right? It's sledges. They are okay, maybe, but not good at clearing chaff. Oh no, I'm saying something different.
Maybe spec the sledgehammers into mechanical rage?
Yes, but that wouldn't make them that much better against the Stormcrawlers. I'm thinking, what you think in the right direction. He already has 4 sledges on board, right? So it would make sense to invest a tech into them if he wants to win this quick. Because he can't buy more units and then just tech them and whatnot. That's harder to get value out of that. Field maintenance does very, very good against Stormcaller because it makes them too tanky to die, especially with the small amplifying core. And it also makes sure that if they get hit, they will regen to full. There's nothing on this board that can burst them, right? I would need Scorpion, Raiden, the big boys to blow them up. So if you're seeing a bunch of sledges like this and I am deploying Stormcrawlers, I am not doing that to fight the sledges at all. I'm trying to bait Tacos into using sledges and teching. This is very important to understand because this unit is not that good into this board. This is just a shield breaker, fang killer, and that's it.
Okay.
It's very bad into the sledges and it's okay against marksman. I think the marksman was a stormcaller matchup is stormcaller favored early, and later it's marksman unless you're overcommitting to stormcallers. I can also show you a game where I overcommit to stormcallers. Was actually a very funny one, but we will say we don't do that. Okay, we are not mad. We are playing normal for now. Okay. So very risky play here. Will probably lose me some rounds, but will set me up later. More marksman. I fully expect some Phoenix cheese here, right? This guy is playing aggressive. He wants to win. He's also playing around Phoenix cheese, by the way. So I will just deploy these guys, the marksman here, for that reason. And look at that. A missile. Also a good tempo play, right? Missile hits here, kills my marksman and the sledges. Because there was no chaff in front. Right. Our plan works, right? The sheet goes down. These sledges here coming in late. And he also upgraded that crawler that we were talking about, right? Also a tempo play. Marksmen are doing okay, I would say. Stormcallers are top damage by far. So he now knows this unit is a problem, like a big problem. And we force him to resolve this problem. He also got levels on the sledges. This is really, really powerful, as we were talking about, right? If there is no Scorpion, that's probably going to be one of the strongest units on the board. And he has 2 of them. And Marksman. So far everything is going directly how he wants it. Tempo, tempo, tempo. I'm doing not so good on HP, but remember my HP pool wasn't very good to begin with. So if I was at 5k HP and he would drop me down, I would still be at 3,800. So meh. Like the skip game, right? Where we had like humongous HP pools pretty much. Yeah. But we have to be aware of this. And now we have a Farseer power spike for free. That's what we were waiting for, right? He had his power spike in the early game. Now we have our own power spike and we try to equalize. So these are the rounds where he will win or lose the game pretty quickly. Okay, unit drops. And this is going to be an interesting one for you because there is very different choices here. There is, I would say, 3 units in this drop here that would perform okay against Sledgehammer. And then there would be Mustangs. That's all I'm going to say about that. So what would you pick and for whom?
Scorpion for you. But you don't have enough. No, you had enough chops clear, if I recall correctly. So the Scorpion to take care of the sledgehammers. And for him, on the other hand, I would get either the Scorpion or the Phoenix.
And who wins against what? That's the question. Let's say I take the Scorpion and he takes the Scorpion as well. Who would win?
Well, I think him, because the Scorpion has more time to do things, and you will go. I'm not sure. Can I see the board again?
Yeah, sure. If you can keep a good image in your head, you can always ask me to just show the board. I usually don't do this. I do this. The switcheroo all the time. So I know what the options are, but I'm mainly looking at the board too. This is just a spectating thing, right? I usually would have shown you right away. Yeah, think about it. I will edit my my info real quick. Let me see if I can make it without moving the mouse. Is it still moving?
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, but it's okay.
Yeah, I mean,
No,
it's more of a theoretical question here. You already know the board state, right? Nothing has changed from last round. We have a bunch of crawlers with some fang frontline and sledges backed up by marksmen versus crawlers on all sides, some marksmen and the sledge.
Well, the thing is that if he goes with the Scorpion and he picks the siege, he can probably take the tower quick, and then that will be a problem. But it will be a one turn type of thing. Like it's either he pushes now to the win, or those Scorpions would be unusable for the next round.
Yeah, true.
Other than that, there is nothing much that he could do with the Scorpion. So probably Phoenix. On the other hand, if you can stall him long enough, the Scorpion can do all the things that they have to do. Like, for instance, even if he has the amplifying core, the small one, and even if he upgrades them, I still think that the Scorpion one-shots them. And if they don't get one-shotted, they pretty much are close to die anyway. So, like, one shot.
Yeah. Remember that we said he's going to take field maintenance most likely because of the Stormcallers?
Yeah.
That's a 30% increase in HP. So this unit will go to like 8K, right? About 8K, and then 30% on top of that. So if you can do quick math, you know if the Scorpion would one-shot or not.
I don't know the base damage of the Scorpion.
It's fine. This is something we should know, actually. Okay? Not by the decimals, just the base. Is it 10K? Is it 11K? Yeah, in the ballpark, pretty much.
It should be 10K, correct?
We'll see.
Okay.
So I will just show you real quick. I will take the Tarantula and he will take the Phoenix.
Okay. So
why does he take the Phoenix? Because he does want to take the Scorpions out, right? He is expecting Scorpions here, for sure. And I would say 90% of the players would pick Scorpions.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the, in quotation marks, correct play. But I'm a known Scorpion hater. I, in fact, love them, but I know they will get stuck on random crawlers. And this crawler back here is performing quite nicely. He's coming in later. He's killing my crawler here on the flank together with the sledge. And then I get distracted. That's what happened to the marksman here. He's getting absolutely shafted, as we can see from his stats. Right? This guy is dead. This guy is performing okay. So if you see those stats on your units and the Stormcallers are doing great because they're killing those fangs and dealing a lot of damage, you probably don't have enough chaff clear. Okay?
Yeah.
Probably. Now, is the Tarantula great in standard? No, but we're not playing standard, right? We are way closer to the line than we should. Because he's forcing this play. The Tarantula will make sure I will clear, but it is not an answer to Phoenix, obviously, because we can't shoot up. But we already have marksman, right? We have anti-air. We have the Farseer, also anti-air. So in fact, we're actually doing quite nicely with the Phoenixes. And the sledges we still don't deal very well with, but the Tarantula has a okay matchup against sledges, for sure.
Okay.
Do you see where this game is going in a general direction? Because there's something missing on this board that would explain you why I think this is a good idea. But we can break it still down with the basics. The basics was we want chaff, more than opponent. We want chaff to arrive late, and we want to have more chaff clear than the opponent. So we kill his chaff earlier than he does his, right? And that one is pretty clear. He is doing, I would say, at the moment, better than us. Okay, the only thing we added was the Stormcaller, but that's not a true chaff destroyer, right? That's a fang-only thing. The crawlers will beat the Stormcaller in any case. Can't rely on that. There's something missing here that you're not aware of, I think. That's why we're looking at this game, by the way. Because it's very, very useful to know against aggressive players and when you can pull it off, but it is very hard to do. And it requires 4 turns of waiting and getting beaten without panicking. That's the problem. Okay. Getting beaten, no problem, but no panic. No missiles from me, right? I could have missiled here. Would have been good value, right? Sledgehammers still die to missile with Amplify. So I'm not playing his, I'm going to deploy missile, shield, random stuff. I'm not doing that. He's burning money. That's what I wrote him afterwards, because he told me some very nasty things after this was over. That was my only comment, where his money went. Because it's all in consumables. All right. So for now, let's say I want more chaff clear, and Tarantula is pretty good against the main board. Also, he has overlap with Phoenixes and Marksman. That's actually quite bad for the late game, right? Because he doesn't want to upgrade all of this. And these units base do not beat my Marksman. So that's going to be a problem moving forward for him. And the only thing we do straight away is getting the tech on the Tarantula, because I don't want the Tarantula to moving forward into the Phoenix, right? That's no bueno. We want the Phoenixes to shoot at the sledges and the fangs only. Look at that. There's your play. Right? The 2 missile interceptors.
Yeah.
So he did react to what we were doing by spending another 200 temporary because he thinks he can win the round. And he also rapid supply everything. He pressed every button except elite recruitment. So that's 150, 200, 200 and 100 minus, so 300 minus turn of play, plus 2 investment, which is 500. So this looks scary, but in the end, all that happened was 2 fangs, 1 crawler, and the unit drop. No techs, just consumables. Keep this in mind, because I did the opposite. I dropped another Tarantula, also dropped the chaff like he did, like those, because I'm expecting cheese missiles, right? This one was cheese missile last turn. We don't want that. That's not happening anymore. And guess who's winning the chaff clear for now? And Tarantula does perform well against shielded fangs, loose crawlers, doesn't matter. Tarantula has a HE upgrade. And that means it can win any chaff war. Oh. Farsia went to the side here to prevent, again, air cheeses. Should have been on this side, by the way. That was a mistake, right? There's no marksman here. But as you can see here, this is not something that would have happened if we had the Scorpion. We would have been dead by now. Because our Stormcallers got disabled, right? We have a lot of problem clearing chaff if the Fang stays alive. So we take, again, a good amount of damage.
But not too much.
No, it's fine.
The previous one.
Yeah. Let's do something real quick, because I just wanted to show you and make sure that we are not theory crafting here, because this is the high tower, right? We're gonna go in and play the Scorpion. So Farsia, this time we will not misplay and actually put it here, right? There's no flank protection, which our opponent didn't guess. But maybe he expected it on this side. So I will change that. Everything else I will keep unchanged. So what we would do here is we would probably need range still, right? Range on the Scorpion's probably necessary. Because we're going to get targeted by a lot of stuff if we don't.
Yeah, definitely.
We can't afford 4 Scorps. Doesn't work. But we can afford 3 with range. And then we'll also add the chaff, right? The play I did. Because we have to play around missiles, otherwise we will lose. So let's do it like this.
Okay.
inside the tower with Fangs as a front. And the other one can probably go about here, right? Pretty close to the...
Isn't that too further, the Fang on the left?
Yes, but we can't put it here. It's too far back. And this is too far forward. We can't aim at the sledges.
Okay.
Not for now. We could actually put it back a little bit like this. If we are worried about getting sniped by the marksman, which is a possibility for sure. Right. So now the problem is our Stormcrawlers got countered, so the Fangs are in the way. And Scorpions can kill Fangs, technically speaking, but they're doing on a 4.5 second cooldown. As you can see here, he takes 3 shots at least to get those Fangs down. Then he starts shooting at the Crawlers. And not one single sledge has been touched. Now the first sledge has died. One of them, by the way. He hit only one of them. Now there's a pack actually dying to the Scorpion. And now we're in the same situation like last time, right? We're losing board. But our situation is actually worse than last time because we still don't have the chuff clear. And we have played the Scorpion into a losing matchup, which is the Phoenixes here. Okay, so the position is different. We're not really dying that fast. It works out, but I don't know where I would play from this position. I would have to get more chuff clear. And that means we have to get deploys out, and we don't have enough deploys, right? We want to get a lot of stuff here. So could have worked for sure. Probably a loss on the turn where he goes boats. Or any big air unit that does damage. This stuff is all garbage. Don't need to talk about it. So important note here is the missile strike comes back up. So first thing I want to know is what do we missile strike? Because that's a very important thing to see here. As you can see, by the way, the Scorpion did actually one-shot the sledgehammers because he didn't pick the upgrade. So we don't know yet if it would have worked.
Probably on the left to get the Fangs, the tower, and the marksman, like in the middle
like
of
here?
Yes.
Okay, question time. Can you kill the missile interceptor with missile strike?
I have no clue. That's the problem.
That's fine. We will take a look at it because it's very weird.
You meant no. You cannot kill
this one.
The missile intercept. No. It doesn't.
We'll see. We'll see. You just need to know that this can be damaged, and there is a HP pool on this. It just doesn't say here in the description, unfortunately, because it is a unit. If I deploy a missile interceptor here, units will actually walk towards the missile interceptor. So if you need more deploys, you can actually deploy one. It's really funky how that works. Remember that game where I said I don't have the deploys to distract the Stormcaller? I could have dropped one of those. Just to eat the body. Yeah. It's quite funny how that works, but it does actually work quite well. So keep this in mind. This is the extra unit that nobody told you about. 8 of them, actually. That's a lot of HP. Okay. We will check that out later. So we missile strike them some Fangs here. That's what you were saying. The Fangs, the marksman and whatnot.
Yeah.
Do you know which units this missile strike could kill on this board state? We know he doesn't have any upgrades here.
Well, the Phoenixes, the Fangs, if he doesn't have the shield, which he doesn't have at the moment. The marksman, I don't think anymore, and definitely not the sledgehammers with the upgrade and the amplifying core.
And the naked ones?
Which ones? Sorry.
The naked ones, these guys here.
Yeah, it could.
Okay. They have
But
a
no.
little bit too much, 400.
No.
So can't one hit them. The Phoenix
Okay.
can get one hit right now, but if he levels it up and presses the defense enhancement, it could not. So if we're greedy and
Okay.
trying to one-shot this one, we would actually get it if he doesn't click the upgrade. This is common knowledge. He does know that, for sure. Okay, so if we want to kill a Phoenix, the safest one is this or this one.
Okay.
And they are a little bit further away from all the stuff, but we could maybe get a Fang and a Phoenix. Marksman, you're absolutely correct. 1600 HP means they have just too much, a little bit too much. 200. And the missile interceptor we could not kill. That would be amazing.
Okay.
I would absolutely try to snipe it with a missile strike. We can damage it, but we can't kill it, unfortunately. But you know, it's what happens most of the time. Okay, the crawlers, fangs, yeah, we can kill, sure. That we know, right? Even the level 2 crawlers, we can always missile strike them, pretty much.
Yeah.
Unless if they get 3k HP, you have different problems than missile striking crawlers in the first place. Okay, so opposite side, what does he missile strike?
Stormcallers. Stormcallers. Stormcallers with one marksman.
Does he expect me to shield the Stormcallers?
I don't think so, because the shield will get destroyed anyway.
Okay.
Last time I didn't push. Yeah, it should get destroyed.
Do you think I can win the round with this unit dead? But let's say Marksman and Stormcaller, for example.
It depends what you want to go for. Like, you have 1k, so
True.
if you find a way to burst the sledgehammers down, yeah, then probably you will be able to.
Okay.
But safest bet is that you would shield them. So it's unnecessary to missile them.
This is where we need to know what he thinks, right? Does he believe that I drop a shield here? Or does he think this guy hasn't used any consumables, he's going to greed out, I will get the highest value? Or does he sissy out and kill this, like any unit pretty much? He could even kill this one, probably. Okay, this is what we need to do as a risk assessment. See how that one goes, right? Okay. So I will missile strike the Phoenix, the safest play, nick the Marksman, maybe, and the Fangs. Could have been more forward, I think. We will see if this is correct or not. He's going for the Ultra Greed, which I don't get punished by. And here comes the secret ingredient. Round 5, by the way. Remember that, because it's very expensive. Hacker unlock 100. And you saw my money, right? I had a lot of money. He doesn't have any money this turn because he loaned and he did all that stupid stuff earlier here. And still didn't won yet. Not yet. We now have enough protection money. And we get a double hacker. And we get range, which is really, really important. Because this unit now has higher range than Marksman. In my opinion, and on my spreadsheet that I will send you, the hacker actually counters the Marksman. Upgrade for upgrade. The Marksman is a bad shield breaker unit. The hacker has one of the strongest shields in the game, 16,000 per level. Its range is actually not that bad into Marksman. And this unit produces chaff, the tanks against Marksman. Right? The hacker will always have more chaff because of the shield and will produce more chaff. That's a really big problem if you're a Marksman. The only downside is the hackers need a little bit of time and some levels. That's all. Other than that, I think I prefer hacker into Marksman. Because if this hacker hacks this sledge is going to one-shot the Marksman very soon. And that's bad news for Marksman. So either he kills his own units fast enough, or he loses. The faster your board can kill your own board, the better it is. The slower your board is killing at your own board, the better the hacker is.
So that's why you pick the tarantula on the round
exactly
before.
Right? We wouldn't have the chaff clay to support a hacker right now. Hacker, probably point for point, one of the strongest DPS units in the game. Can it be overrun by sledges? Yes. But remember, we were making him think. That Stormcaller. Very scary. Very powerful. He does not think about hacker right now. Not at all. He's feeling pretty fancy. He thinks, I got a bunch of sledges. I'm buying more sledges. They're not terrible into Tarantula, right? As soon as they get some upgrades, they could actually outperform the Tarantula. He has the Phoenixes as backup. He does actually do the defense enhancement. See that? That's a safe Phoenix. Yeah. So always play around this. Don't assume the guys you're playing against are stupid. Those are the stuff that the people know. They don't know where to put the crawlers, but they know this stuff. Overanalyzing. That's what they call it. Okay. So we see here a distinct mass amount of freaking sledges everywhere. And there we go. That's what we're setting up for the entire game, right? Now I'm hacking stuff that regenerates, which is even worse for him because if he can't one-shot it. Sledges against regenerating sledgehammers don't do anything, right? That's a low damage unit against a regeneration effect on a high HP. That's a wet noodle fight if I ever seen one. This is bad. That's really, really bad. This is the incorrect timing for anything. Because we know I have to make a play, right? I'm low. He doesn't have to do anything. I would expect a boat here. Boat does well against all of this. Except the marksman. But they are like really, really unimportant. Unleveled, unloved, unupgraded. And you have Phoenixes as well. So the marksman will have plenty of targets to shoot up right now. Okay. So this is when the disaster starts. Right? This looks like a tiny ass board. But it's very, very effective of dealing exactly with this kind of board. You can see here. So first unit that was hacked was a crawler. Second unit is a sledge. And now look at this sledge. Like the entire freaking sledge pack is shooting that sledge. And the marksman. And there goes the next one. And this continues. There's no way in hell he is gonna do anything against the hacker, right? The hacker is... Look at my sheets. They're not even damaged yet.
Yeah.
And the worst case is, even if my marksmen die, I'm hacking his marksman, so the Phoenixes are absolutely toast as well, and when the marksman gets hacked, it shoots the missiles. And that's Interceptor bye-bye. And there we see the damage, 4K, 4.6. That's one-shotting a missile Interceptor.
So basically, you stalled long enough with the hacker to take over everything, basically.
Yeah. As you can see here, everybody has upgrades. The entire battle line is now getting ahead because he used his upgrades to gain more power. But that also means I have a combat mechanic where I can get a lot of strong units very, very soon without even using this button here, the dreaded Elite Recruitment Burn 100. Right? That's the one I used or abused last time. We wanted to get some marksmen on the board. If I had deployed marksmen here, we would have lost for sure.
Mm-hmm. So the elite recruitment is something that you usually don't do.
Yes, I only do it if I have too much money and not enough place, or if I actually am so far ahead that I think I can afford to get ahead on levels.
Snowball. Okay.
That's not very often the case, unless opponent is playing really bad, or I have the best starting pack and he just got unlucky. Like the last game, right? The dog Mustang is one of the worst packs you could play in standard, I think. Way better in aggression. Now, here's one problem. I don't know if you know this about a hacker. Hacker doesn't have damage, right? no damage stat at all.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't deal damage unless he's targeting towers and other stuff he should not target. Unhackable units, for example. Okay, so as you can already see, the level 1 hacker is strong enough to get the statues hacked. Right? There was not really an issue with that. Once hacker hits level 2 or 3, this is where it gets out of control. He's gonna lose his entire board as soon as the Fang frontline is dying. And as you can see, the Tarantula is quite good at killing those units, and the Stormcallers too. So now we have a big problem over here. He invested all that money early and attack now, and his unit deploys into one big line of unit that all gets countered by 2 hacky boys. I mean, that's 2. That's not good. Not at all. So the question is, what is he going to do about that? Do you know what to do when you're facing hacker in this situation?
No, to be fair.
Okay. This is important because hackers are not often played, but if they are played, you probably build a board that makes them good. And that's hard to come back from, right? You can't sell out of the sledgehammers, for example. There's like 6 of them. So he's done for. Sledgehammers are on the board.
He doesn't have any money either.
No, because he's loaning all the time. That's the problem.
Maybe Scorpion. That's the only thing with Siege that I can think of, or something that is flying, like Overlord.
Yeah, Scorpion would work, but that's really, really expensive.
Yeah, that's another.
That's 650 just for one Siege Scorpion, and that would probably not win him the game because I'm hacking his entire board, right? The Siege Scorpion would be shooting at his units and not at mine. Because I'm producing chaff over here.
Okay. I don't know.
So hackers in general get countered by chaff. That's the first thing. So crawler, Fang. As you can see here, we have some crawlers already, so we could deploy 3 more and click loose formation or maybe subterranean blitz.
Okay.
That would actually overload the tarantulas because I don't have that many, or I had not that many. I'm deploying more now as we speak. But if not, I'm not clicking HE, that will work out for a turn. And you see my HP, right? Doesn't need more than 1 turn, I don't think.
1 turn.
Maybe 2. Maybe 2. Maybe 1 war factory. Okay, so that's the first play. Second play, do the same he did already, waste more money on shields. Shields are very, very bad to take out as a hacker player. And also get that missile interceptor back here, because Stormcallers are very good at clearing shields. So shielding up is actually really, really valuable against hackers. Same for Fortress. You can drop your own hackers if you like. Also works, because they are countering each other.
But the thing is that you have the electromagnetic field up. So if you will go for the shields, you would probably blast them. Like, of course, not every single one of them.
Absolutely true. Absolutely true. I'm just saying in general, right? If you're facing a board of hackers, what would we do as a response? This is one of the reasons why I actually took this, by the way. Many people skip this. All of my trainees skip this. Which they shouldn't, because it's way better than the big blast, because it's less expensive and it comes up faster. Right? I'm gonna use this 3 times if the game goes long. Maybe 2 times. And the 1 time already paid off the 50. Okay, big units that the hacker can't quite hack because of their levels also would work. War Factory in the corner. That's very good against this entire board for now. That's not until the hacker gets levels or items. At that point, it will also lose. Every air unit in the game counters hacker. Right? Big boats,
Yeah.
Raidens, you name it. They will beat the hacker, no matter what. Ibis also works. We prefer those who shoot faster and multiple targets because the hacker is gonna produce stuff, right? But a Raiden doesn't care. If a Raiden is here, it will arc backwards into the unit that got hacked and forwards. Everything that is in range will get hit. So it can't actually be countered by small amounts of units like a Overlord could, right? An Overlord would care. It would shoot the IS-3 missiles, but it has launcher Overlord, so it can shoot a lot faster than all the other carry units. So could also work.
Mm-hmm.
All right, this is good talk, because if you ever experience this, you will either baby rage and quit, or you will just beat him, because hacker is not that complicated to understand. It just needs a specific answer, and if you don't bring it, if you deploy more ground-based stuff, you will lose the game. Like 100%. You cannot even reliably drop fortresses. If the other guy has shield break of any form, it may be EMP, melter EMP, Scorpions with double shot, even Phantom Rays. I sometimes deploy Phantom Rays with burst at the line and will blow up his entire shield line, and then I will douse his entire board in fire. That's how powerful Shield Break is as an ability. Huge amounts of damage right away. That is not DPS. DPS we don't care about. We care about, can we deal 40,000 damage in one blow? That's the thing. And that's also something that can be very useful when you're playing hackers yourself. So if you're looking for a way to play hackers, this is the kind of board. Medium-sized, lots of units, upgraded with marksman, steel balls with replicate. Very nasty to hack because you get chuff yourself inside of chuff. This is one of the worst case scenarios for steel balls. I will say, though, steel balls are a little bit less common for you to get spammed at, I think. Or I would assume. Okay. So this is not good, looking good unless Tarkus knows what he's doing, and then we have the unit drops. So it's thinking time. Do you see any units that I just mentioned when I was describing how to break shields?
Yeah, the Phantom Rays.
At the melting point.
Yeah.
And one I forgot to mention was the Sabertooth. Also breaks through any shield in one shot.
Oh.
This one, humongous amount of damage. They can one-shot almost anything. Especially this unit.
So within probably you have the marksman, so probably either melting point or the Sabertooth. But for the melting point, he would have to check the range. No, yeah, the range. Otherwise, it will connect with your chaff faster than the shield itself. And the Sabertooth probably would be my choice.
So again, for who would you pick what?
For Tarkus, either Sabertooth or Melting Point. And for you, for you, I actually have no idea. I mean, nothing seems that much useful for the things that you want to do.
Yeah, we could sell, right? There's always an option.
Then Melting Point or Sabertooth.
What's worth more, the Sabertooth or the Melting Point? Quick math.
700 against 400. 400-650, the Sabertooth should net you more.
The melting point was actually nerfed in a recent patch. It used to cost less, and now the level 3 and the level 2 melting point cost more. Okay, so oftentimes the units are not at equal cost because they have different use cases, and this is one of the latest nerfs to this unit card. That's why the Sabertooth is actually worth more money. It wasn't, actually. Earlier it wasn't. Because the unlock cost of a melting point is obviously higher, right? So in total we would get more if we want the melter. Okay. I don't actually remember what I took, to be honest. I just know none of these units are very helpful right now into this board. Phantom Ray gets countered by Marksman and Phoenix. Sabertooth, I don't need to kill anything on this board that has high HP. Rhinos, yeah, I guess you could run Rhinos, but they would still die to Phoenixes rather quickly, especially with Charge Shot and on the bar, and they will probably drown in those freaking crawlers because they're getting too far ahead most of the time. And also, we just invested into a unit. And when you do this, even if you lose the round, okay, even if you deployed hackers and I would have lost, you commit. We don't have any options. We do commit. This is the only plan. There's no more thinking what he would do and blah, blah, blah. We set up for this 5 turns, so this will work. 100%. Okay. If it didn't, we will lose the game and we say we don't do that again. Okay? Very important. Do not switch techs. Remember our other game where you wanted to deploy a Vulcan down here? Was another one where we looked at and we like, yeah, we can put a Vulcan here. That's exactly the same thing where we invested into multiple units where we should have stick to just one. Okay. So that being said, I'm pretty sure I will take the melter in this case because I want it unlocked. But I'm not sure if I will sell it or not. Because it does do very well against the Saber, and the Saber I currently can't really kill. If he puts a regen on the Sabertooth, I will have actually some trouble. Okay, there comes another Tarantula, because as I was saying, there's no chaff clear here. Need another one. Now we are chaff clearing pretty good, and look at that. Our opponent knows what I was talking about, right? The shields. And the air play. So this is a good player, don't get me wrong. He knows what's up. I just baited him a little bit. And you're also right, the EMP will probably screw this shield over, right? It's probably gonna die in the first few seconds. So this board is hackable. And as long as one side is hackable, you have a problem. Because that side will turn against you and will take tower. And if I hack this unit and that shoots the tower, that it's like one of the fastest push you can do. No other unit can get tower as fast as hacker can because you are shooting your own tower. It's a big problem against hackers if you don't do it right. So I think this is the Raiden from last game, right? The Raiden you wanted to buy into the War Factory in the drop that plays around how can we lose. So only do this if you're very, very certain that you can afford to do that. Because I'm close to dying here. This is not an easy thing to do. And I'm also loaning here, by the way, because I know I'm to buy. And even then, we deploy the goddamn Fangs, as we should. Because they're very, very good against Phoenixes, Marksmen, and the Phantom Rays. Yeah, look at that. Instant shield.
Yeah.
Is down, and these statues are not even shielded properly, because he didn't put them far enough. Right? They would get hacked no matter what he does, so he doesn't know where to shield. And there we go again. Sledgehammers are currently killing each other. Nothing else. The entire carry line is shooting at those goddamn sledges. Over and over and over again. Until the hacker hacks the marksman. And then it's game over. The melting point I just use as a tank. Right? He's just sitting there and getting some value. But melting point has high synergy with Melter since he will never overkill a target. And he breaks shields, right? He is killing shields okay speed. Better than the hacker for sure. So that's disaster, right? He invested all that money, loaned again. I didn't even deploy more hackers, by the way. I just leveled up the original hackers, which are leveling now. And he did what he was supposed to do, right? The Phantom Ray play.
Yeah.
And as you could see last turn, I was actually ranging my Marksman, right? The ones I neglected, the
yeah.
the Lost Sons, or whatever you want to call them. I'm still open to air cheese, by the way. For some reason, he doesn't want to do that. But okay. I just did that because of the Phoenix Marksman and Phantom Ray drop. Marksmen do okay against melting points because of EMP and whatnot. They outrange them if they want to, all that stuff. So they are good against everything except the sledgehammers. And the sledgehammers I already have covered. So everything is covered, right? We have Tarantula, we have Marksman, because Hacker gets countered by air. The only thing we are weak to is Wasp play. And we have a Farseer in the back, and we have Fangs and whatnot. So we're not really that weak to Wasp play. Let's say it like that, right? If he has a unit drop, maybe, but not just three Wasp in the back here or something like that.
Yeah.
But that could be one of his comebacks here, I think. Okay, but believe me, at this point he was swearing a lot in chat, and he was not thinking about anything productive. Because he saw him winning early with his tempo, and now he sees himself dying with all the tempo he could buy, right? He had all the shields, missile interception, all he could muster up, and it still didn't work. Okay. Instant bomb, missile strike are okay. This one here, please keep this in mind. This is a very good missile if you know your opponent is investing into shields. Okay?
Yeah.
Have you used this thing before?
No,
upgrade?
Never.
Okay. So base HP on a missile doesn't exist. It's damage. 5k damage. So we're dealing 15k per missile.
Oh.
So if opponent drops a shield or multiple shields, we deal almost the entire damage. It's like an EMP, right? For 100. 2 missiles equals 1 shield. Let's say he has a shield here and here. Then we missile here.
Okay.
It's 2 shields.
And it takes both?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's an AoE, right? A huge AoE. This is what we call in the higher MMR the nuke at home. Okay? Because you can make nukes with this setup. But you can also spread them any way you like. And you can make them go off instantaneously in a game. That's a very, very powerful spell. Just keep this in mind, okay? If you ever need shield break and your board absolutely sucks against them, this is good. This is ticket home. This will blow up tarantulas with 2 of them, or 1 of them if they're level 1. In 1 blast. So very, very powerful upgrade. Should consider using this. Not this game specifically, just in general.
Yeah.
He takes it. See? There it is. I didn't even remember that, by the way. I was just telling by experience. So what is he trying to do here? Is he trying to kill Fangs? Nope, he's shield breaking, right? He's trying to get that shield. It's annoying him. But also means he invested 100, 100, and 100 into the card. So he's not stopping with the breaks. He's spending all his money that he doesn't have. Okay, on the other side here, we have a range on the melter finally, because I'm still waiting for that war factory, by the way. This is why he's here. I'm playing around his outs, which he never did. So I should have deployed some anti-air here, some Mustangs as well, if I was playing completely safe. Instead, we just take the range, we take more Fangs. And where do the Fangs go? Everywhere. Front, back, and center. And there's the late Fangs even. And how do we play around this?
Missile interceptor.
Nope, doesn't work because there's multiple missiles. One of them will hit.
Oh.
You can outplay a missile interceptor. That does work. And this missile will actually kill the missile interceptor because it has so much damage.
but then put something on the front.
Yep, exactly. So if we want to play around fire, Stormcaller, and all that stuff that breaks shields, we always put something in the front. And all of this shields can be prevented. So if we are playing around this, I shouldn't have deployed this Greedy Fang. I should have deployed it here.
Okay.
A crawler, for example. Okay. He buys more sledges. I'm not sure how that's going to solve the problem, but he's a sledge enjoyer. I would say that. I dropped a missile here because I finally saw the air flank. Look at that. Both shields almost dead. For very little money. But he also, for some reason, upgraded the freaking sledgehammers. I don't really see why he did that. When you are standing in fire, you are already dead, because the hacker has only one true counter, and that's chaff. So if you can prevent fire, you are good. If not, you probably die. You see here the melter is doing fine, right? It's just shooting some medium units here and there. It's not useless. It's fine. Now it's gonna go tanking as well. Marksman can't even kill that freaking sledgehammer. Because it's just too much regen. That's it. Okay.
Yep.
Why did I show this? We still have a lot of chaff. Even though we were under pressure. We were still deploying all the chaff. And once all that was filled, we fixed the chaff clear. Just like we did with the arc lights last time. It was just easier, let's say. And how did we fix that? With the unit drop. We used the unit drop, finally. Right? Because we couldn't get our perfect setup. We didn't get Vulcans. We didn't get arc lights in our starting packs. Nothing like that. We just committed to whatever Bear-like was sending us. And the Tarantula did the job, right? It just chaff cleared.
Yeah.
All of them. Even into a Phoenix, which is considered a counter. I don't wholly agree with that, because the Tarantula probably chaff clears faster than anything he can put down. And what did he do? He did not put any chaff clear down. It's just sledges. Without Mech Rage. You were trying to say Mech Rage is good here, right? It's true. Yeah. I think Mech Rage would have been good. But apparently we are going for field maintenance to overreact into this kind of stuff. For no reason at all. This is a freaking Stormcaller. That wasn't even supposed to kill the sledges. It just looked like it was scary. Look at the damage output. It's pretty pathetic for a Stormcaller. Stormcallers are actually pretty good into a lot of boards, but not like this.
Yeah.
Okay, and 2 hackers was all it took. I didn't deploy 6 of them. I didn't deploy 10 of them. As soon as we saw the hacker is doing the job just fine, done. And that's all we need to do to be successful for just a normal game, right? And this was a close one. You can see here I was pretty close to dying here, but I had the plan. I had a plan, and he had a lot of tempo, and that it was fine as far as I know. I could have also lost, but he didn't make the correct plays, and I answered his play. There was never a big air transitioning happening that could have killed me. He didn't even take the Phantom Race or anything like that. And I would have died, right? 1300 with enough air units? Easy. Not really enough Wasp. For example, Farseer was the only thing here. Overcommit Wasp on this side. Push this tower. Kill that. Go over here. Kill that Farseer.
Yeah.
That would have been a good plan. But as I said, he was mentally broken by the fact that there was hackers on the table. That was all. It's true. It's true. Because he was doing so well, and then suddenly everything went south. That's why people, by the way, complain about this unit, the melting point, and this unit. Because they're winning, and then, oh my god, he dropped a melter into my Vulcan, a hacker into my mass amount of sledges, steel bolts, anything you'd like that is ground-based. And then suddenly I lost OP unit. Because the setup is trash. The setup for the units you're trying is trash. There's too much of the same here and not enough of counterplay when I actually make this play. I can see this coming. When I'm playing sledges, I'm very much worried about hackers. Not all the time, but when I'm overcommitting and I'm in an aggressive position where I can't even transition out of sledges, I mean, he could have done this before sledges, by the way, forever. He doesn't need those. Like, what the hell is this? I have no idea what this was supposed to do, but apparently he needed more of them. Instead of making them useful or stay out of range. He could have ranged them as well if he wanted to stay away from getting hacked and whatnot. So this is a very defensive setup, and that's how I would play it if I'm getting pressured. Even if this was an aggro game, I would have done the same. So don't be scared to drop units like this. As long as they counter enough stuff on the board and they're doing their job, that's all fine.
Okay.